was appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, and all of us are witness to the proactive initiatives taken by her as Lieutenant Governor. Madam, we are humbled and honored at the same time at your acceptance to grace the inaugural function of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Department of History and Tourism, Stella Maris College. I now request Her Excellency Dr. Kiran Bedi, Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. I've never seen thousands of such beautiful little heads together. So many heads together. I think it's a Guinness book. All heads together. Cute heads, same size. Neither small nor big, just the right size. And they're also loving and beautiful. Feel like coming and touching them. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is an invitation which is waiting to happen. This was accepted way back, even before I became Your Excellency. I was not posted then. I did not know about this work which was awaited. But it came through the very sheer persistence of your Alumni Association, Shivani, sitting right on my left. Shivani, would you recognize yourself? She persistently connected with me and ensured that I come here. She's an old associate and connected with me. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Madam Principal, Dr. Sister Jacinta Quadras, for wonderful opportunity to be with you in this school, in this college. College. Look like school. Looking like a school. Don't like it? You don't like to be told a school? Don't mind it? But you don't like it? Or you like it? Okay, good. Well, school has a bigger meaning. School is school, it's a center of learning. Where did you school? Which means where did you get educated? It's not the school is the name of the school. Where did you school? So school has a deeper meaning, is where did you grow up? Where did you learn? Where did you get your ropes from? Where were your foundation made? That's called schooling. So therefore, that's your school. Sister Susan, whom I've known from Delhi Times on Martyr Day, Dr. Sister Helen Vincent, former principal, Sister Christine, superior of Stella Maris Convent, Dolly Thomas, head of the department, thank you for inviting me, vice principals, deans, faculty, former heads, alumni, and dear you, and guests. I have 3 thoughts for you, and I'm going to have a lot of Q&A with you. So I'll have 3 thoughts. I thought through what is it that I share with you. Because when I looked at you, when I imagined your invitation, I looked at you for the next 70 years, at least 80 years, with a long life, with the longevity we have. I imagined you, girls, that you're going to be steering India, living in this world for the next 70, 80 years. Some of you become 100 years, you've had it. But the point is, you are here for the next turn of the century. Some of you would turn the century around. You'll be there when the millennium changes. So what lies ahead of you? What is that kind of preparation you need? Because life is going to be constantly changing by the day. What is it that I tell you that stays with you? That till the last day of your life, you call yourself happily and successful. Happy and successful. That's the way I thought of you. And I started to look at imagine and dig into my thoughts. What is it that I share with you that remains with you? And here are the 3 areas which I thought I would share with you. Number 1 is that I would share with you the meaning of freedom. You were born on the Freedom Day. You were born 15th of August, 1947, right? You were born on the Freedom Day, weren't you? So I must tell you what I think is the real meaning of freedom. We've been talking about, there have been debates in the last few years, not months, freedom debates on television. But somehow or the other, every bit was a bit of a puzzle or a bit of a jigsaw. It didn't make it complete because obviously everybody has their own definition. Here's my definition for you for the definition of freedom. It's called the ABCD of freedom. Very simple, and you'll not forget. It's called the ABCD of freedom. A stands for ability. Ability to be free. And as I see across all of you are able. All of you have the ability. The fact that you have wonderful good health with a beautiful head on your shoulders, you've got it all. The ability to be able, ability to shine, ability to fulfill, ability to qualify, ability to do what you want to do. Ability comes from wonderful good health. Ability comes from very good 5 senses, that you got them right. They call the 5 wonders of the world. Wonders of the world are not the Taj Mahal or the canyon or the pyramids. The real wonders of the world are your 5 senses intact. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your smell, everything. All these are 5 wonderful touch. When you can touch, when you can smell, when you can digest. So question whenever I've asked is, asking children, what are the 5 wonders of the world? And they raise their hands. They say, Taj Mahal. Everybody claps. They said it right. Somebody says, pyramids. Everybody says, very good. Third one says, the Grand Canyon. Very nice. But I said, no. They are. They are in structure. But what is it that each one of you has as 5 wonders of the world? And that is what defines how you use these 5 wonders of the world will decide your ability. So the first meaning of freedom is ABCD, is A for ability. How free are you to realize your ability? How free do you become to realize your ability? As I did. I had the ability of a lot of hard work. I was never ever tired. When my parents would tell me to go and work hard, study hard, play for my tennis, compete and run a lot. You can't be a tennis champion without preparation. You got to work very, very hard. You cannot be a champion overnight. It's a lot of hard work, as you've seen the Olympians when they returned from badminton and wrestling. What did both the girls say? It's been years of hard work. As Gopi said, the coach of Sindhu, saying it's been years of hard work, finally she's achieved a medal. So I had the ability to work hard. And hard work is the one which I did not relent on. I never ran away from hard work. And see, till now, I love hard work. All life is hard work for me. It's been 35 years of policing, and then now it's 16 hours a day. It's hard work. The ability to work hard. And I had the freedom. I enjoyed the freedom because nobody crippled my freedom. When a girl in our country or a child has the ability, but the child doesn't have the opportunity. Child doesn't have a parent to allow the child, or the child doesn't get the best college. So the child loses that sense of freedom. So friends, my first A of freedom is ability. I want you to recognize this and then fine-tune it on a daily basis, every day. In the end, I'm going to give you a mantra, small mantra which I practice, which is giving me the energy to do more and more. I'm going to leave you with that practice today. It's my duty to do, because that is one practice which will keep you energized till the last day of your life. So that I'll give you in the end. Remind me if I forget, but I'll give it to you. Second, the B. The B is boundaries. The second definition of freedom is boundaries. Now, sometimes every freedom has boundary. When we are taught the boundary, we don't like it. But there is no freedom without a boundary. There is no freedom without a sense of responsibility. Every one of us have to define our boundaries. And that is the key to a sense of freedom. If each one of us, it's like boundaries to observe traffic rules. It's a boundary. Its loudspeaker at night is a boundary. Oh, you say, no, 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 no. I have the right to blare the whole night. But look, what about my right? You are not letting me sleep. I want to sleep. So there's a boundary where there's by 10 o'clock, the microphones, the public microphone has to stop. There's a boundary for a red light that you have to stop. There's a boundary for a speed limit. It's a boundary. The laws are boundaries. That is what, when we all observe them, we all enjoy our sense of freedom. So my A for, B for, C for conscience. What are you guided by? What are you guided by every day? Who's your guide? Is it Jesus? Jesus comes through conscience. That's what I learned. When I was in school and I used to pray in the church with my Catholic nuns on a regular basis, I was told by my sisters, Jesus speaks to you. And that's your conscience within. Listen to that voice. Jesus is speaking to you. Almighty is speaking to you. Listen to the voice of conscience. And your conscience will tell you, are you crossing your boundaries? Are you breaking the rules? Are you disobeying? Or are you abusing your five senses? These are called the boundaries and the conscience. So the A, B, C, the C is conscience. The conscience speaks to you. And in the end, I'll tell you how it does. I'll give you a little practice. And finally, the D. The D is duty. D is duty. We all know fundamental rights. But do we know the section 51A of the Director Principal State Policy, which directs us for duties? Duties is something which must be learned and seen and practiced. When each one of us practice our duties, what happens? Everybody gets their rights. But if everybody says, no, 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 only my rights, your duty, then you'd say, no, 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 what about my right? Then they say, what about my right? You fight. But what about my duty? I fulfill my duty, I observe your right. You fulfill your duty, you protect my right. So friends, here is a movement for duty. So freedom for me stands for the A, B, C and D. A for, B for, C for, and D for. That's why I said you're a very good school. The second thing which I thought for you is there are 3 W's which will change the world. There are 3 W's which are changing the world. Can you tell me which are the 3 W's which are changing the world? Number one is women. Number one is women. Number one is women. Understand that. Listen, you had men rule the world all these years. It's time to change. Whatever will change, bigger change will come through you young women, who realize, they understand the meaning of freedom, who realize and fulfill and practice their ability. That is the real challenge. So, first W is women. The more able women, more capable women, more the world will change. Better the teacher in a woman, better the mother in a woman, better the professional in a woman, better the citizen in a woman, better the daughter in a woman, better the leader in a woman, it will change the world. So first W is women. Second, what Chennai has also suffered is weather, over which we have no control. We have no control. Weather is changing the world. Look at the way coastlines are changing. Look at the way the climate is changing and causing havoc. Somewhere it's getting warmer and somewhere it's getting colder. And we do not know. We are still grappling with our Earth Summit. We are still grappling with the consequences of weather. How do we control? The third W is weather. Third. Can you guess the third W? Anybody? Anybody, the third W, which is changing the world? Water? Any other? Web. It's the web. It's the internet. WhatsApp has changed the world, hasn't it? The WhatsApp has changed the world. How quickly we're getting connected. It's the web. The third W is the web. That means the more you master the web, the more you master technology, the more able you will be. Whether you can't, but you can prepare. We can deal with the weather. But the web is in your control. That means that any woman who is better at web, that means the internet. That is the internet, the technology, the stronger she will be. So 3 W's are changing the world, will change the world. Number 1 is you women. Second is weather, which we have very little control, but we can only understand it and contribute to not its warming. We cannot understand the weather, and that is why you're having many challenges not to warm the weather. So that's water management, power management, environment issues, garbage, the water harvesting. All these are issues coming in dealing with management, with the dealing with weather. There's a third thing I wanted to share with you. 3 things will change your life, and those are the 3 M's. 3 M's will change your life. I want you to remember this, and this is critical. The first M is money. If you're well professional, you have money with you. You women, when you have money, you are empowered. You have no money, you are disempowered. Therefore, you have to ensure that your ability makes you professionally sound and capable. Remember that. Without money, there is no power. That's dependence. So you have to, when you decide to get married, is immaterial. Point is, you have to learn to earn for yourself. Marriage early or later, I do not know. But any woman not able to earn her own money is enslaved. She'll be dependent, and she could have a wonderful, dignified life. She may not, there's no guarantee. But having your money in your hand as a woman is critical. Second thing which will change your life is marriage. And the third most important, which is irreversible. Marriage is reversible. You can get lost with it. You can let the guy go, get lost, I don't want you. You can. In marriage, it is cancelable. But motherhood is not. So very important 3 decisions. This is especially for you women. I know how it changed my life. Moment I got into the Indian police service and I had a salary, it made me powerful. Second, when I got married, it changed my life. How? Because it restricted me. It now contained me. When do I come back home? Because somebody's waiting. But I could manage it. I could make him wait. Because I was in a position to make him wait. Why? Because my job was more demanding. And my husband was willing to wait because he had no choice but to wait. But the point is, marriage changes. But the point is, it was manageable. But the moment I became a mother, it changed me completely. Now, I cannot make my child wait. I have to be there when she needs me. And my body, biology changed. My whole system changed. My psychology changed. My way of living changed. My way of thinking changed. She was there forever. So friends, remember, money you must get. Marriage is a choice. Motherhood also is a choice. But the most important thing about motherhood is, it's a very important responsibility. Once you do choose to become a mother, there is no escape. You have to see through that life all your life. Just as your parents don't have a choice but to be with you, to tolerate you, to love you or suffer you. I do not know. It depends on the way you are. I want you to be very careful in the coming years on these 3 decisions. 1 is a must. 2nd is a choice. 3rd is a very important decision because it will change your life. I remember when my child was born, the first thing I asked my mother is, Mom, my mother came up to me and said, Kiran, tu theek hai? I said, Mama, meri fikr nahi karo. Is baby all right? I completely forgot about my own life. I started to live a new life. I started to live a fresh life. I went back to a nursery school to teach her nursery rhymes. I went back to a primary school to teach her primary classes. I went back to a secondary school and finally a college, till finally she became a mother. So friends, I do not know whether this is conveyed to you in these clear terms. But remember, these 3 decisions going to be changing your lives. The definition of freedom, the role that you're going to play as a change maker in the world as the first W, and third is the 2 M's particularly, is the money you must earn and the motherhood and marriage. I thought these 3 things would be like your mantras. I deliberately put them into acronyms, deliberately, because acronyms will stay with you. You won't forget them. Will you forget the A, B, C, D? You will forget the 3 W? Will you forget the 3 M's? That was my reason. I've been a teacher. I've been a teacher. I also taught political science before I joined the Indian Police Service. So I know how to teach. I know that during the class itself you learn and you don't have to even go back to your notes because the notes are all in your head. Anyway, that was it which I thought I'll share with you as 3 nuggets. Now I'm going to tell you a mantra before I start taking your questions. Now sit all of you properly. I'm going to give you the mantra. All of you sit properly and comfortably. Let me tell you one thing. Till the last day of your life, what you will need is energy. You will need energy. You have energy, you are self-reliant. You have no energy, you're dependent. You've got good health, you can help others. You have weak health, you're dependent on others. Now, what do you want to be? Self-reliant and healthy, or unhealthy and dependent? Then this is my mantra. You will promise me that you will understand this and take it along for the rest of your life. Something which is helping me today to deliver. Something which is making me have so much energy every day that I can deliver more than anybody else. And the secret is very simple. Secret is every day you will get up in the morning. First thing in the morning, number 1, you will learn to get up early in the morning. You will learn to get up earlier the better. Earlier the better. If you sleep those hours in the morning, you're wasting your time. You're wasting a lot of energetic time. That's the secret. And the moment I realized that the energy time is earlier in the morning, I have not let it go off my hands. See, the early hours of the morning are energy time, not sleep time. So every morning, you'll get up, you'll put an alarm on your clock, you'll listen to the alarm, and you'll have a second alarm which gives you a 15-minute break so that you can laze around a little. But the second alarm will make you get up. Whatever time you get up, that's your choice. But I can tell you what time I get up. I get up at 4 in the morning. And I can tell you, I'm not tired through the day. Because what I do at 4 in the morning, I'm going to tell you that. And this is the reason why I'm giving you is, all that I've told you, you need energy. As women, you need double energy. For the reason that you will be running your homes, you will become mothers, you will be at work outside, you will be at work at home, you might be taking care of your parents too, because some of you may be the only children of your of your parents, but you want to take your pet, even if you're not the only child, you want to take care of your parents because you love them. So you love to take care of your parents, you like to run your own home, you may have children to take, and you have work. You will be working 4 times a day, 4 times over. Not just one, 4 times. Where will you get the energy? So I want you to practice energy before you become into 4 times. And that is getting up in the morning. I get up at 4. And I'll tell you what I do. From 4 to 4:15, I laze a bit. I help my body get up gradually. And 15 minutes, the little naps I get between 4 and 4:15, energize me. And at 4:15, I'm up energetic. What do? I drink a glass of water. First thing I do is drink a glass of water. Then after drinking glass of water, you should have a place where it is a sitting place, where you have a cushion where you can sit on. Sit on that cushion. But you need to have a yoga mat. Have a yoga mat so that you spread the yoga mat. First 15-20 minutes, do some wonderful relaxing yoga exercises. Few yoga exercises. If you do yoga in the college, learn it. 15-20 minutes of where your body warms up. It just suddenly gets up, it warms up. You're not doing aerobics. You're not jumping around. You're just sitting down. No, before you sit down, you are doing 15 minutes of nice yoga where you warm up. You're just warming up. It's just warming up. It's just warming up a little. It's gradually warming up. It's gradually warming up your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and stretching a bit here and there. It's like all these. This is what happens in the first 15 minutes. 15-20. I do a little more, but I'm only giving you 15-20 minutes. You will decide on your own. So warming up of 15-20 minutes. After that, you sit on that chair, that sofa, that cushion of yours, and just cross. The way you're sitting now, it's yogic. This is yogic. It's part of yoga. The way you're sitting is yoga. This is a yogic posture. So sit like this on that seat and do what? Just, by the way, when you do yoga, there's another thing which I do which helps me a lot, is I have no lights on. It's all dark. No light on. No distraction. No noise. Nothing. Just quiet. And why I want you to get up earlier? Because at that time everybody is sleeping. Hopefully everybody is wasting their time sleeping. And you getting up, even if it is on your bed, and even if the room has occupants, doesn't matter. Just be on your bed quietly. And then sit down and shut your eyes, no lights. Shut your eyes. Now all of you shut your eyes and I'll tell you what to do. Just be quiet. Quiet and shut your eyes. And now just be yourself. Let the thoughts come and go. It doesn't matter what you think. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Phone them. Just observe your breath come and go. Try and observe your breath come and go. Shut your eyes. Don't look around. I can see you. Shut your eyes and be still. Don't move around. Just be still. Don't move around. Keep your eyes shut. You're learning a life skill. You're learning a skill which will keep you energetic through your life, all your life. This is a gift you're giving to yourself. It's a gift of life. It's a gift of energy. Just observe. Just breathe. Just be. This meditation is agnostic. It's not Hindu, it's not Muslim, it's not Christian, it's not Sikh. It's all about the mind. It's the human mind, which will give you energy. Just observe. Shut your eyes. Just observe and be happy. Can I see a smile on your face? Everybody smile. Happy. Happy within. Just deep breathe. Deep breathe. Take long breaths. Each breath is energy for you. Deep breathe. Deep breathe. Inhale and exhale. Deep breathe. Go deeper. Deep breathe. Now slowly open your eyes. What I have given to you today, is a life skill. Some of you will practice it from tomorrow itself. I know it. Some of you will not. But many of you will come back to it as a skill when you need it. But you learned a skill today by practicing it. Thank you. इसको बंद कर दो, शोर मचा रहा है. Switch this off. I've given this skill because this is what when I do this in the morning every day, do you know what happens? I get so much of energy. But I'll tell you something more which it gives you. When you practice this every day, the mind will talk to you. Now try and understand what I'm saying, because this is the next step. The mind will talk to you. You will have a dialogue with your own mind. Your mind will be your friend. And when you practice it over the days, do you know what happens? A higher mind takes over your mind. And that higher mind will guide you, will prepare you for the day, will give you messages what lies ahead. Why I'm saying this to you is because I want you to be your own friend. All of us needs a friend. But every one of us doesn't get a friend who you can talk to. Every one of us in our lives do not have a relative or a parent who lives through with you. When I was small like you, I used to run home, speak to my daddy and tell him, "Daddy, I lost my match. What the hell? Somebody cheated, somebody did." I had a father, a mother and a sister who I could run and talk to. Today, my parents are with heaven. One of my sister whom I talk to is also in heaven. The other sisters are all over the world. They are not with me. Who do I talk to? And in such important positions, who do I talk to? I cannot talk to everything, my stresses, with my colleague. I cannot. I cannot bother my sister in America to say, "This is what happened, I want your guidance." She doesn't know. So when she rings me up and wants us to FaceTime, "How are you, Didi?" I said, "I'm fine." But I've already spoken to myself. I already have my answer. I've already discussed my problem or my challenge or my confusion, if any, in my own mind. And my mind guides me that this is what you can do today. It questions me, how can I do better? The higher mind is the conscience. Higher mind is Jesus. Higher mind is the Almighty. The higher mind is that spiritual power. It comes to you at that time of the day. It does not come when it's sunlight. It doesn't. So easily. It's very tough. That's why I told you, switch off your lights and open the light within. That is why switching off all the lights and switching on your own light within is the secret. And that light within will talk to you. Experiment with it. You experiment with it with next 40 days. Don't take a break. Don't take a break. You can do this practice in 10 days and you'll become a habit. You'll say, "I can't do without it. That's my friend. I can't miss my friend in the morning. The friend is waiting for me." The friend will talk to you, and this friend will be your best friend. This friend will not share anything you've shared with him or her outside. This friend will never blackmail you that I know your secret. I have given you a life skill. Why? Because this is what is keeping me going. And this is what I am in my life, will be with you all your life too, one day or sooner or later. It's everybody's life, man or a woman. But since I'm addressing you, and I know your needs, you'll have the 3 M's issue, you'll have the 3 W's issue. You'll have your boundaries issue. You'll have all those issues I've spoken to you about. You need solutions. And the solution is energy. Pure energy. Selfless energy. Friend in energy. It's energy. How you manage your energy will be your test. And that's what all studies, whether it's Harvard or whether it's Cambridge or Yale, have said it. Any amount of studies which I read, I'm a student as well, because I read regularly. You will read, you must get into habits of regularly reading these things. You will be continuing to navigate your lives. Navigation. You have to learn to navigate your lives the way I did. I have navigated my life to reach this far. I never had a political godfather. I had my father and mother, but no godfathers. I had only the ability and the energy. Ability and the energy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm giving you my secret. A secret which I've practiced and I know it works. And there's nothing about it so that it's unachievable. It is achievable. It requires only one thing. It requires discipline. Where every day, and I can tell you one thing before I finish now, is just as bad habits are addictive. Bad habits are addictive. Like you want to gossip, it's addiction. You want to waste time is addiction. Having a friend dependent on a friend is addiction. Similarly, good habits are addictive. Believe in this. So when you come up with good habits, they are addictive. You practice this habit, this addiction will drive away other bad habits. Because you will now realize, why am I losing my energy? I generated in the morning, why should I waste it on this? Why should I waste it on this? I will focus on what I want to do. Isn't it? Isn't it? You'll become more aware. How do I generate my energy? Because you've been your own generator. Then you will position your energy into things which matter to you. Which matter to you. Not waste, invest. You'll not waste it, you'll invest it. And when you invest, your ability will go up every day. And when your ability will go up every day, you will change the world wherever you are. You will be the change makers. So I told you how you can do ability, but I gave you this technique of how you sharpen your ability every day through energy. Generating your own energy. And this is one energy you cannot plug, like you charge your iPhone into the battery. This has to be your own battery generator. It's not an external plug, it's an internal plug. It's the internal switch on your own. You have to switch it on your own. Mummy cannot switch it on. Only you can switch it on. You agree? You agree? Only you can switch it on. So friends, by the way, I want to tell you, whatever I've told you, this is the first time I've said it publicly. This is the first time I've explained to students publicly. Reason is, you inspired me to tell you. And I know that any one of you children, girls, inspired is going to change her life and change the world around her. And you will all be islands of change. And the islands uniting will become the ocean of change. That is how it will be. I want to thank you. Thank you, Madam Principal. Thank you, the entire faculty. Thank you, all of you friends, and you all, for inspiring me to speak to you. Thank you.